I feel like I'm in a place of being ready to launch, if that makes sense. Like I feel...
You've already launched it. For deliberate people like you, you're accustomed to making more happen, and letting things happen kind of feels off-putting to you in some ways. Maybe not so much now as it once did, but...
Yeah, well, a long time ago, yes.
So what we're wanting to say to you, it's already launched. Step 1 is already very well taken care of, and so is step 2. Mm-hmm. So what's the feeling that you now want?
To move and go and grow and...
Give us more emotional words around that. I want to feel...
Adventure.
That's the word that was coming to Esther.
Yeah. And I'm hearing deliciousness, that I've heard you say that kind of, you know...
Here's a good word. It isn't on the emotional scale, but it is in many other ways. Interested. I want to feel interested. I want to feel engaged and interested.
Challenged even in some ways, but not from a space.
Challenged is called, but there's a little resistance in challenged. But interested, fascinated, eager.
Inspired.
Inspired is interested on steroids. There's momentum. There's more momentum in inspired than there is in interested. And of course you could have mild interest and more intense interest, but satisfying interested. Just interested enough to feel good and not so interested that I feel overwhelmed. You get to keep molding that. And as you reach for emotions, then you don't get bogged down. Sometimes Esther says about herself, and her daughter really says it about her, Esther is accused of jumping too soon into things. But Jerry always said, you can go right back out the same door you came in. Well, it's not quite like that, but you can jump in and then you can jump out, or you can jump in and then jump into something else. How do you know that you've jumped in too soon until you've jumped in and it's too soon? How did you know that? How did you know you weren't ready? You felt ready, you wanted to do it, jumped in, felt good, then didn't. That's all right.
Well, that's what I follow. Breadcrumbs is what I call them. I said, I get called and I go, oh, I'll go here and I'll go there and I'll go here and I'll go there, and I just keep rolling with it.
Yeah. So now what? So you're good.
But I have a big calling, and it's a huge change from where I currently am.
Go. It might be wrong, but you won't know till you get there. We're not.
So it's that stay or go kind of thing, because it also involves other people.
Well,
right?
When you feel interested, always go.
Okay.
When you feel overwhelmed, always stay. When you feel mad, don't move. When you feel exhilarated, run for it. And you get so that you can really feel the timing of things. If your inner being is calling you and you've been holding off until you just can't hold off anymore, go. It's lined up enough and you'll be able to figure it out as you go. It's like the Orlando airport. You'll be able to figure it out.
Or the parking.
You'll be able to figure it out. It's not that big. You won't be lost for long. Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Probably not, but... Oh, yeah, one other thing while I'm here. So the same thing, this doesn't require moving. This is what I do for work. This is my passion, my drive. Everything was just like, as she mentioned, the momentum was there and there and there. And now I've felt like this huge pause this year, which has been great. I've just used the time to reflect and kind of simmer things out, waiting for the sauce to brew, I guess. And now I'm
You know that nobody can figure out what in the hell you're talking about.
Because I said
that's Esther's phrase. What in the hell? What the heck?
Okay. So, like with work, I got a strong calling. Things got in the way to change it, to shift directions, and rather getting upset, I go, okay, so we can shift directions. And when I went with that, it paused.
That's a stay moment, though. When it feels like that, it's too muddled.
Yeah, that's what I didn't move any further. Yeah. I waited. That was the work aspect, and so I was just, waiting for the next inspiration.
Well, the thing is, waiting is one thing. Looking for things that interest you is something else. You've launched it and your inner being's gathered up the cooperative components and you're being called. But if there's very much waiting going on, then you're not listening.
Okay. Because I keep seeing myself like looking over my shoulder.
Then you're trying to compensate for something. And mostly that comes from not wanting to make a mistake, which comes from people saying you jump in too soon, which they need to mind their own business because you jump in when you're ready. And if you feel like jumping in, it's not too soon. And if you don't feel like jumping in, follow the impulses. But before you begin following the impulses, make sure that you're steady on the feeling good things. In other words, don't do lip service. When you get happy, you can't stand still. When you're really in a good mood, you're looking for something to enhance that good mood. You want to get out there where the possibilities can happen. Every now and again, Esther thinks, Travel is one thing. That's why the bus was appealing, because there was more control, but it added something else. But what she's beginning to realize is that there's good stuff everywhere, but you got to get out there where the good stuff is. Not very much really interesting thing is going to happen to Esther if she sits in her condo all day.
No, I'm out and about. I'm constantly in motion.
Well, we're not exactly talking about you. We're just trying to prime everybody's pump just a little bit. But what we hear and feel from you is this.
I think it's people.
It's too much introspection about what you're doing. It's too much attention about what you do that makes things work, and not yet quite enough attention on the outcome that you're looking for, which will bring all the other stuff in. Most everybody's going about this in a backwards way.
My bus feels like, or the train feels
You're
like
what?
I feel like I'm wait over here, ready to run and roll, and the other end of it happens
What
to be
made you
people
tear
in my
up
life.
earlier? What made you tear up? Something that we said really reached you. It's the only thing that we've said that reached you. Something that we said,
Not the only
something
thing.
that we said really reached you. Do you know what
really
it was?
resonates, yeah.
Do you know what it was?
Yeah,
Tell us.
go, just leave.
Well, then do it. Yeah.
It's
So is
it's
there any-
family. It's family is what it is. It's family and a longtime partner. That that's all.
Well, there's a remedy to all of this. You can go to happy in your mind without leaving anybody behind.
That's why I haven't left.
And here's the thing. We want to say this to all of you in light of what we've been talking about all day, which is get happy and do your best to stay there. There are a lot of people in your world that make it difficult for you to feel happy most of the time, or even some of the time. Sometimes there's rough stuff going on, but nobody is waking up and trying to figure out how they're going to mess up your life. Nobody's doing that. Instead, what's happening is you think some things like that, not just talking to you, you think some things like that, so you've got a point of attraction, so it feels like that. And so as you leave today and go about your life with this maybe renewed interest in feeling good more of the time, the first thing that's going to happen is somebody is going to do something that makes you feel unhappy. And the first thought that's going to come to you, you're scowling, but the first thing that's going to happen is something's going to happen that's going to make you feel unhappy. And then the next thing that's going to happen is it's going to feel like they need to do something different so that you can feel happy.
No, I'm giving that up.
We're talking to everybody
Okay,
right now.
I'll shush.
So what we're getting at here is, unless you are committed to deciding that you want to feel good, you're going to get tripped up right away, and your life is going to feel a little more complicated for a few days, because those that are up close to you that are the reason for most of your dipping on the emotional scale, they are at work, or they're people that you've hung around with for a long time, like a friend group, or they are your family, and they are not dedicated to your happiness. They're just not. They're dedicated to their own happiness. It's the way everyone is wired. And so we're just asking you to decide that you want to feel good. And then when the first thing happens that doesn't feel so good, just suck it up in this way. Don't go to your default knee-jerk response of, if they were just different, this would be a lot easier. Because if they were different, this would be a lot easier. If they were different, this would be a lot easier. But the fact that they're not different and it isn't easier doesn't mean that it's not going to get easier. And each time you have that knee-jerk response where you move down the emotional scale, and each time you give them the benefit of the doubt because you're the one that receives the benefit, and then you look for something to feel good, you're going to get so sure and so stable in your good feeling that the world is going to move around you. You're going to witness that. But it doesn't happen the first day or the second day. It usually happens about week 3 or week 4 when you're finally strong enough to be determined enough that you're going to feel good. And even though you're doing that thing that always yanks my chain, today, that's not going to yank my chain. And you're not bad for trying to yank my chain. We got a deal going. You've done that and I've done that. When you whine, I give in. When you need, I fill in. We're like a head-on collision, and the impact is equally responsible for the two who collide. We're just saying, as those kinds of things feel like they're happening, just think about one of the last things that Abraham said to you on this very fortuitous day. He said, it's probably going to happen. Don't let him get your goat. Don't let your goat get gotten. Don't let your chain get yanked. They're chain yankers, but your chain doesn't need to be yanked. They are chain yankers, but your chain doesn't need to be yanked. And as you show yourself your easy to find in time stability, then Personalities are going to change all around you. Traffic patterns are going to change all around you. Everything is going to change all around you because you will finally have control of your own point of attraction instead of turning your power over to everybody that causes you, seems like, to have an emotion and you let them get away with it. Don't let anybody get away with the reason that you're saying, you hurt my feelings. No! My feelings were hurtable or they wouldn't have been hurt. And you were just the path of least resistance that the law of attraction put here for me. I've decided that my feelings are hurtable. It's been going on for a long time. And so people that match up with that show up all over the place. But when you decide, no, I'm in control of the way I feel. And with time, I'll really be in control with the way I feel. And this isn't about controlling others. This is about you controlling your timing with others. This is about controlling your clarity with others. This is about you being able to hold your own with others. This is about you being able to be happy even when they're not. This is about you being able to watch television without freaking out. This is about you being able to move through the world. This is about the law of attraction's response to you. What you are wanting to learn as the master of your life experience, as the creator of your own life experience, you've got to come to know how you fit in with the law of attraction. In other words, the law of attraction is not going to yield. And other people aren't going to yield either. You got to find your place. And you are this close from finding it. We're just giving this a little extra oomph right now because we've just offered a lot of words and they've been the same words over and over and over and over and over. We know how it feels to you. So many words. And then we say words don't teach. And then we offer so many more words. And then we say words don't teach. But when you match some of these words up with some things that are actually happening, it's life experience that teaches, which, friends, you're helping us to say this in 2 or 3 things that you've said already here today. It's life experience that teaches. It's not words. For you and for anybody that you're trying to mentor, it's life experience that teaches. And what's the life experience part of what we're talking about here today? The life experience part of what we're talking about here today is a manifestation. The manifestation that comes in response to your point of attraction, which is about your emotion. So when you accomplish the emotion in a pretty steady way, the manifestations that happen, that's going to let you know. You'll go, oh, yeah, I get that. I felt this way and didn't like it. And then I tried to feel that way and couldn't make it. But I felt that way and I made it, and then that happened. And as you connect those dots, then you'll be sure of this. Then it won't just be some person babbling and screaming and trying to get your attention and wanting so much for you to hear something that you can't hear. You can't hear something that's at a different place on the emotional scale. When you're discouraged, happiness is annoying. When you're in fear or worry or despair, it doesn't matter what's going on. It's not getting through to you. You got to deliberately put yourself someplace that you intend to feel and then feel it and then know that you nailed that. You accomplished that. And before you know it, you'll rarely dip. You might dip into boredom every now and again. We don't believe you, but you might dip into boredom every now and again. But it will not last long. The place that's most natural to you is optimism. And it's because you're constantly changing, because there's so much in your vortex that your inner being is focused on that's already underway. We're not kidding you. It's underway. It's underway. It's underway. It's not just underway. It's way, way, way underway. The cooperative components that have been gathered on your behalf are enormous. And why you don't let yourself just have them is because you're used to not feeling good and you're not decided that you're not going to put up with that anymore. It just feels sort of normal to not feel good. Esther was watching people on the airplane and she thought, she watched them all because they were together a long time. They were coming and going and coming and going and coming and going and coming and going and coming and going. And Esther was wondering what they were feeling. And some of them were just not letting themselves feel anything. And some of them were feeling plenty and just keeping it quiet. And very few of them were frisky or eager. You're copers. You're copers, and we don't want you to cope. We don't want you to accept frustration as, well, things just happen. It is what it is. No. It is what you've attracted. It is what it is, but it doesn't have to stay what it is, yeah? Mm-mm. We're done with you.
Thank you.
Very helpful.